Yo, what is going on, YouTube? Today we are going to be looking at some of the patch notes. Basically, I went through all the patch notes yesterday, took a day to process them, and this kind of wanted to go back instead of doing a big, long TLDR video, do like a couple of short videos about specific changes I think are generically changes to almost all builds or a lot of builds will be affected by. The first one for me, which was actually a big one, one that I was like planning for a league starter, and now I'm adjusting, figuring out different ways to do this, is the change to Call to Arms. Essentially, Call to Arms was a skill support gem that was added last league that lets you automatically trigger war cries when linked to a war cry. So that was really good. A lot of people will just take Call to Arms and link it to Enduring Cry for free endurance charges. So you, two links of gear on your two sockets linked together on your gear, and you get free endurance charges basically. It was really strong, so not really surprised that this got changed about. Call to Arms got removed from the game. It has been renamed to Auto Exertion. It now reserves 50% of mana per support work, so now it becomes a reservation, which is like a lot worse instead of just triggering and doing the mana cost of the war cry. Auto Exertion can now support multiple war cries, so that's cool. So you begin war cries with it. That seems good. The biggest problem here is one of the last lines here is supported war cries do not grant buffs or charges to your allies. Therefore, you cannot just use this for free endurance charges. You actually kind of would need to use it for the war cry effect. So linking this to Enduring Cry, you don't get the endurance charges anymore. Kind of a big nerf to builds that had problems accessing endurance charges pre-Call to Arms. Now we'll have difficult accessing endurance charges again. So that's especially sad based on the changes to endurance charges that were made. Endurance charges actually got a pretty significant buff. Endurance charges used to grant 4% all res per endurance charges. That was removed but replaced with 4% additional elemental damage reduction per endurance charge. So now it still has the 4% additional physical damage reduction per endurance charge, but also will have 4% additional elemental damage. So if you're already res capped, this 4% all res did nothing. Now you get 4% additional elemental damage. Basically, this is a pretty ginormous buff to endurance charges. Another way to do elemental mitigation that's outside of just raising your res cap. So it's like another scalar of elemental defense. It's very strong, and definitely it makes me want to try to figure out a way to get endurance charges back into my builds because just really strong defensively. That being said, one of the ways I used to do endurance charges and still in the game before Call to Arms last league is the Enduring Composure notable from a small cluster duel. So basically what this does is it's 30% increased armor and you gain 1 endurance charge every second if you've been hit recently. This is super strong on small cluster duel, so basically this is 2 points. If you're already using a cluster duel, you can socket it into one of your jewel slots on a large or medium cluster, or just into one of the cluster jewel slots, and you get for 2 points. You can have a way to generate endurance charge. Of course, this says if you've been hit, so it's not a build something you can do on like evasion-based builds where you're trying to not get hit. But you can absolutely do this on block-based builds. When you block, that counts as being hit, so you would generate the endurance charges. So any block-based builds, big gladiator buff this league. I think we're going to see a lot of gladiator builds playing block. Left side of the tree, Guardian, Templars, anybody uses a shield. You have a pretty good chance of like actually generating endurance charges as long as you're not like evasion, don't get hit builds, because block does count for this. That being said, I just want to show like a couple what some of these jewels look like. So they're actually quite good. This is just on the current league in trade. You would never pay 1 divine for these unless it had like the perfect rolls on them, I guess. But if all you're looking for is Enduring Composure, you can just roll this. It's not a super uncommon mod to get on these 50% increased armor passive skills, so you can roll that and get Enduring Composure pretty easily using alteration spamming. So definitely something I'd look into. This is just the first change I want to put a video out there. So if you kind of like this short form content of just big changes that happen in the patch notes, click sure to click the like, subscribe button down below, and check out the Twitch stream. We're going to be doing our league starter building, and I'll have that video out hopefully this weekend pretty quickly here. As soon as PoE gets updated, it'll be my plan. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'm out here. Bye.